Comprehensive Pre-Departure Education Program na handog ng OWWA. CPDEP supports vulnerable groups, especially domestic workers, and it prepares OFWs for work abroad, covering cultural differences, language, and stress management. This program is important because it equips the household workers with the necessary knowledge and skills to successfully adjust to the culture, laws, and practices of other country of their destination. Now, let's proceed to the benefits of OWWA Pre-Departure Education Program. First, CPDEP aims to help household workers adjust to stay in their jobs for the first 6 months. Kaya naman ito ay hindi lamang isang simpleng requirement, kundi isang mahalagang paghahanda para sa mga manggagawang Pilipino na magtrabaho sa ibang bansa. Second, CPDEP focus on the fundamental needs of the household workers for orientation rather than overloading them with specifics. Third, the orientation seminars are country-specific and in some cases, skill-specific, with the purpose of providing household workers with as much relevant and credible information as possible to assist them in quickly transitioning into their new work environment. And the last one, household workers would be better equipped to deal with the challenging work environment and atmosphere seen in international households. The mentioned benefits will allow household workers to have a smoother adjustment period and provide them with the necessary skills and knowledge to be successful in their work abroad. Next, I will discuss some information about the Comprehensive Pre-Departure Education Program seminar. For the basic language training, below are the languages that you can choose from: Arabic, Cantonese, Hebrew, Italian, and Mandarin. Pwede kang pumili ng isa sa mga wika na nabanggit para sa iyong basic language training, and it depends kung saan kang bansa magtatrabaho. Next is the cultural familiarization. This addresses cultural obstacles employee may face abroad. It includes an overview of the host country's traditions, norms, cuisine, art, entertainment, and a brief history. Tinutukoy nito ang mga kultural na hamon na maaaring harapin ng mga empleyado sa ibang bansa. And the last one is the stress management. It prepares individuals physically and mentally for working abroad, validates current coping techniques, develops new ones, and enhances understanding of stress causes and effects. These topics are all important for workers to successfully adjust to their new working environment and avoid any potential conflicts or difficulties. And now, I will discuss to you all the requirements for the CPDEP. First requirement is the original passport. It must be valid about 6 months before the date of travel. Next is the original visa. It must be attached to the passport. Next, one valid government-issued ID with photograph, such as Alien Certificate of Registration, Armed Forces of the Philippines ID, Barangay Clearance or Certificate, Certificate from the National Council for the Welfare of Disabled Person, Company or Office ID, Student's ID or School ID, Consular ID, Department of Social Welfare and Development or DSWD ID, Driver's License, Government Service Insurance System or GSIS e-card, Home Developmental Mutual Fund or Pag-ibig ID, Marriage Certificate, and it must be NSO authenticated, NBI clearance, NSO or Birth Certificate, Overseas Filipino Workers ID, Overseas Workers Welfare Administration ID, Permit to carry firearms, PhilHealth Identification Card, Philippine National Police ID, Philippine Overseas Employment Association, Police Clearance, Postal ID, PRC ID, PRA Special Resident Retiree Visa, Seaman's Book, Senior Citizens ID, Social Security Systems ID or SSS, Tax Identification Number or TIN ID, Unified Multipurpose ID or UMID, and the last one is the Voter's ID. And for the country-specific documents, these are the requirements. A printed copy of Visa Grant Notification Letter for Australia-bound immigrants. Certificate of Eligibility for Japan-bound immigrants. Certificate of Permanent Residency for Canada-bound immigrants, and it must not be torn or signed before departure. Immigrant Data Summary for USA-bound immigrant must not be detached from visa packet, except for a K visa holder. Next is the Letter of Approval for Work to Residence Visa for New Zealand-bound immigrants. And Nulla Osta for Italy-bound immigrants. It is an authorization to work. It is required before applying for a working visa. The mentioned requirements are the CPDEP requirements that may vary depending on the country of destination. It is more important to research and gather all necessary documents beforehand to ensure a smooth processing and successful application. Next, I will discuss to you the qualifications for the CPDEP. Sino-sino nga ba ang mga qualified sa programang ito? First, Filipinos with immigrant visas leaving the Philippines. Second, adults aged 20 years old to 59 years old. Next, children aged 13 years old to 19 years old. And the minors under 13 years old and adults over 59 years old cannot take the CPDEP. Now, I will show you the step-by-step process of how to apply for the CPDEP online. Step 1. Email or call the nearest OWWA office in your area your full name, address, phone number, and the application you're considering in. Step 2. Send them your completed personal information. And the last step, wait for the confirmation of your schedule for the CPDEP training or seminar. Important reminders, arrive at CFO at least 2 hours prior to your scheduled CPDEP session. And the registration form does not need to be printed. We hope that this guide is helpful in understanding the importance of OWWA Pre-Departure Education Program and how to apply for it. It is important to know all the necessary information and requirements in order to have smooth and successful application process. For more videos, please subscribe to our channel.